Hi, my name is Tessa and this is my video review of Married Life and Legal Rights by Pandita Ramabai for World Literature 2. Ramabai was a feminist, a speaker, writer, and advocate for women's emancipation in India and worldwide in the late 19th century. For over 30 years, she devoted herself to programs for female victims of sexual abuse, rape, blind women, and the elderly. Her name Pandita is a title meaning great female scholar in honor of her extraordinary knowledge of Sanskrit and religious texts. She was the first woman in modern Indian history to ever receive this honor. Now, in the Married Life selection, Ramabai describes the upper caste Hindu marriage customs such as arranged and early marriage, the dowry system, the extended family structure, and household organization. These writings are based on her personal observations and reflections. She describes children being given in marriage from infant with 12 years being the oldest that the child can marry. Children have no say-so in their first marriage, but they can choose their own spouses for following marriages. Wealthy families often pay a dowry for their daughter to a prosperous, good-looking husband, yet poor families often marry off their 7- and 8-year-old children to 60- and 70-year-old men. A woman has no salvation without being formally married. The girl and everything she owns becomes property of the husband and his family. She often takes on the family name and loses all of her personal identity. Most girls leave home as soon as they're married. However, in some areas they actually stay home with their parents until puberty and then they move to the husbands. The child bride does household chores, isn't allowed to talk or laugh out loud or to speak to any male unless they are commanded to do so. Often they are verbally or physically abused by their mother-in-laws if they make mistakes. Women must eat after the men and only what the man leaves on his plate for her. In the legal rights selection, Ramabai writes a critique on the lack of women's rights in 19th century America. She sees women as greatly inferior in a civilized country, yet not much different from her country of India. Women were not allowed to keep their late husband's property, nor share in their living husband's property. They have no rights over their minor children or their custody. Whatever a woman brings into the marriage actually becomes property of her husband. She has no right to a trial of jury by her peers, neither the right to vote. Now, some of the things I liked and disliked about these selections. I liked Ramabai's straightforward truth in her observations. She didn't try to make her country look good in comparison to the U.S., but she showed the similarities of women globally in the 19th century. I disliked reading how women were treated, how they were nameless, faceless pieces of property for the men to control. Honestly, in modern day, I would hate the idea that everything I've worked hard for, including any children I may bear, being under the control of my husband, to the point that I don't even have say-so over who gets custody of them. The audience of this section, I think today anyone who's interested could read it. Literature is for the masses. However, people who would probably get the most benefit out of this would be a sociology class, because it would help them to understand the societal structure of other countries. A history class to help them see the trail of women's struggles and how women have evolved over the years. And feminist, they could use it also as a history class and to help empower and encourage other women to fight for their rights in today's time, and to teach them that they too can rise above their abusive situations. that they don't have to stay in the position that they are in now, because there are so many programs out there today to help them. Thank you.